What I'm about to tell you might shock you, but I think that these three countries are said to be leaders of AI in Southeast Asia. What about the rest? Well, stay on to find out. For those who think that AI is a mere technology, well, you're wrong. It is a transformative moment in human history. I'm telling you, just like the first industrial revolution changed human life, economy, and production forever, AI is set to do the same. It is a major transformative event in human history. According to some reports, AI would add something like $15.7 trillion to the global economy. Frankly, I think that's the wrong way of thinking about AI because AI is set to disrupt many aspects of industry and economy. So what we're going to see is massive explosion of new ways of doing things, new ways of generating wealth, etc. So therefore, what we are looking at is a huge opportunities opening up, at the same time challenges as well. But guess what? You have to be either a leader in this field or you have to be someone who is writing the rules of how AI is going to be used in the future. And no guesses required. These are the countries that will lead in AI in the future. If you don't believe me, just look back after the Second World War. What happened? The victor countries got together and wrote the rules of how the new world order is going to be. The United States, Great Britain, France, all sat together and drafted the rules of the game. World Bank, IMF, United Nations, all these were created as a result of these countries. And it is no surprise that they should be the leaders of today's world order. And the rest of the world, unfortunately at that time, were not yet independent. So when they became independent, they found themselves in a world where the rules had already been set and they merely had to be followers of the rule. Today, when you look at AI, we are just like at that moment. It is the moment where if you want to be a leader, you should be at the main table writing the rules of the game for AI. So, who are writing the rules and where is it being written? One such place is Paris. Just last week, India and France co-hosted an AI summit in France. It was attended by more than 100 countries, all the leading IT manufacturing countries, AI leading countries, companies and businesses that are involved in this area, such as Google, OpenAI, and others were all present. It was basically a who's who of the IT and AI world. From Japan, China, Australia, many countries in Europe were all present. What came out of this summit? Well, this summit produced a declaration signed by, guess what, 60 countries. And this declaration, although it was not binding, it defined the rules of the global AI agenda for the future. And by future, I mean it starts now. This is how these countries want to see the future of AI to be. This is how they want to see AI being used, easily available for anyone and everyone to be able to use, modify for various purposes. So you can see how these rules that they have set, they will form part of the global agenda. The main absentees were, of course, US and UK, because they have a different view on how AI should be used. America favors a closed system where it would be able to dominate, whereas the other side of the coin, with countries like India, France, China, and all of them, they are looking at an open system where everyone will be able to compete, where it would become cheaper, more accessible to the others. But guess what? Even though the US did not or did not subscribe to these views of this grouping, None other than the Vice President, J.D. Vance, attended the summit. That should already tell you now how important this summit is, because even the US thinks that it's important to have a place at the table so that it can at least have a rule or at least have a role in writing the rules. So you can already see now that the future of the AI is going to be split into two camps. One would be a US led camp with countries like the UK in it. They're looking at a closed system, high end, expensive, powerful. Trump has announced $500 billion to support AI development in America. And on the other side will be the AI world, which is led by countries like China, India, and now with France coming into the play as well. Of course, Europe is far behind in this game because of their own regulations, etc. But EU is fighting hard by pumping in about $300 billion to challenge the American, power in AI. And for those who were not in Paris last week, well, they will have to find themselves in one camp or the other, but as followers, not as rule writers. And now let us come to Southeast Asia. Why is Southeast Asia important when we talk about IT and AI? It is because many countries in the region are producers of chips and other support systems that are required in this industry, data centers and things of that sort, for example. And collectively, it is expected that AI would contribute something like $2 trillion to the GDP of ASEAN by 2030. But personally, I think that's an understatement because, as I said earlier, AI is a disruptive element. It has potential of creating much more wealth if the Southeast Asian countries were to put their thinking together. So you would expect that all the leading countries from Southeast Asia should be present at Paris. Well, I was somewhat surprised when I looked at the participation. From Southeast Asia, the countries that participated were Indonesia, Singapore, and Thailand. No surprise there. But Cambodia also joined. But guess what? These three major players of the IT industry already knew that they want to be leaders in writing the rules of the AI agenda of the future. Thailand, for example, has already announced that it is going to host an AI summit and ethics sometime this year. And countries like China have offered to host another summit on AI global good and others. So the countries who participated in France are scrambling to look at different aspects of AI and how they can put themselves in the forefront of it. By just being present at the main table where the rules are being written, positions these three countries, Indonesia, Singapore, and Thailand, as leaders of the global AI agenda. Of course, much has to be done by them in order to position themselves as true leaders in this field, but having that position, privileged position early on, puts them at a much better advantage. Well, how about those who are not present? Well, the train is leaving the station. They will have to be followers, but they will have to try their level best to do or take advantage of whatever opportunities comes to them with the rules already having been written. As usual, hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you very much.